Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are unpacking a concept that honestly has the power to completely reframe how you look at your daily work. If you've ever felt the absolute bone-deep exhaustion of the daily grind, whether you're studying for a brutal exam, trying to master a really complex new skill, or just pushing through a tedious learning curve, well, you are exactly who needs to hear this. We're going to take a seemingly simple little story, a piece of wisdom called the power of the sprout, and use it to transform that tedious daily effort into a monumental, genuinely exciting investment in your future. We're diving deep into the mechanics of patience and resilience, and looking at why the things we can't actually see growing are so often the most important things of all.
It is kind of the ultimate human dilemma, isn't it? Why work hard today if you see absolutely no reward tomorrow? Let's just acknowledge the reality of intellectual fatigue for a second. We live in a world that is fundamentally built on instant gratification. You click a button, a package is at your door. You swipe a screen, boom, quick dopamine hit. But deep, meaningful learning? Yeah, it completely ignores that modern rulebook. You can spend 5 hours grinding through complex data structures or mastering a new language, and when you wake up the next morning, your life looks exactly the same. That frustration is incredibly real, and it's exactly what our source material is tackling today.
Let's get into Section 1, the daily routine. So, picture this. An incredibly peaceful, quiet village. And living there is a wise old man, totally famous throughout the whole region for having this stunning, lush garden. But the villagers, they don't just notice the beautiful flowers and the giant trees. They notice this highly specific, kind of baffling daily routine he has. Every single morning, with these slow, methodical steps, he walks out to a small, completely empty patch of dirt. He kneels down. He carefully plants a tiny, almost invisible new seed. And then he waters it. Just dirt. Water falling on absolutely barren soil. Day after day, with this steady, unshakable patience, he tends to a patch of ground that is giving him absolutely nothing in return. No sprout, no green leaf, literally just mud.
Moving on to Section 2, the boy's doubt. I mean, human nature dictates that we can only watch someone do something seemingly pointless for so long, right? Enter a curious, super energetic young boy from the neighborhood. After weeks of watching this incredibly boring routine, his youthful impatience completely boils over. He marches right up and asks, "Sir, you are very old. Why do you spend so much time watering a tiny seed every single day? You will never live long enough to see this tiny plant become a big tree or reap any of its benefits." And honestly, objectively, the kid's logic is perfectly sound. He's basically calculating the return on investment. He sees an old man, he sees a tree that takes decades to grow, and to our modern TikTok-wired brains, the math just does not add up. If the payoff doesn't happen on my timeline, why on earth am I putting in the effort? But the old man doesn't get angry. Instead, he just chuckles, gently pats the boy on the shoulder, and delivers this profound shift in perspective. He says, "My boy, I know I will not be here to eat the fruit of this tree, but I am watering it today so that future generations can enjoy its shade, its beauty, and its fruit." Wow. In just one sentence, the old man completely shatters the boy's self-centered, short-term calculation. He introduces a legacy-driven mindset. The value of the work isn't somehow negated just because the reward shows up later. The simple act of watering that dirt is actually an act of profound faith in a future he won't even be around to see.
Which brings us to Section 3, the long-term vision. You see, the old man isn't just giving a lesson in agriculture here. He is creating a direct, powerful metaphor for the boy's own life. He smiles and tells him, "This seed reminds me of your studies. When you study hard or learn something new, you may not see an instant reward." He is actively validating the kid's frustration. He's totally acknowledging that staring at a thick textbook or wrestling with a difficult concept, well, it feels exactly like watering a patch of empty brown dirt. You are pouring all of your energy into something that is showing absolutely zero immediate signs of life.
Let's look closer at that in Section 4, Your Mind is a Garden. Let's actually take this out of the village and drop it right onto your workspace. The physical act of tending a garden perfectly mirrors the unseen internal work of a student. Think about the garden for a second. You're planting a physical seed, doing the tedious act of watering the dirt, all for the ultimate result of future shade and fruit. Now apply that directly to your mind. You're learning a difficult lesson, building a daily study habit, all for the ultimate result of future success. Every single time you sit down to focus, when you would literally rather be doing anything else, you aren't just doing a chore. You are actively planting a vital seed in the soil of your brain.
Every repeated concept, every flashcard you flip, every ridiculously difficult problem you solve. That is the water. You are tending your garden. Understanding this sequence is literally how you build resilience. Step 1 is today. Plant the seed, study hard. Step 3 is tomorrow, true success, a bright future. But the real challenge, that lies in step 2, right smack in the middle, the wait. This requires immense patience precisely because there are absolutely zero visible results. Guys, this is the hardest phase of any human endeavor. This is where 90% of people just quit. They study for a week, they don't feel like a genius yet, so they stop. What you have to remember is that during the wait, the seed isn't dead. It's actually growing roots downward, in the dark, where you can't even see them. It is establishing the massive, unseen network required to support the tree that is eventually about to burst through the surface.
And finally, Section 5, the ultimate harvest. Think about it like this. If you are studying just to pass a test or get some immediate reward, education becomes this draining, exhausting chore. It's totally transactional. You memorize, you regurgitate, and then you forget. But contrast that with learning to build a strong foundation for your entire life. This is the empowering, lifelong mindset. This is the old man planting a tree for shade he won't even enjoy. When you view your learning as an investment in your foundational self, a bad grade on a pop quiz doesn't destroy you. It's just a little reminder to adjust how you're watering the soil. You are playing the long game here. So, if we survive the wait, we reach the ultimate harvest. And it really comes down to 3 super simple actions. Number 1, plant the seeds of hard work today. Action is absolutely required. Number 2, practice patience. Fully expect the barren dirt. And just normalize the phase where you see no visible results so it doesn't discourage you. And number 3, build your foundation. Remind yourself constantly that true success comes to those who wait for the invisible roots to take hold. You are constructing a life. You're not just cramming for a Friday exam.
I'm going to leave you with a direct, honest challenge right now. What seed are you planting today? When you turn this off and you go back to your desk, your workbench, or your books, I want you to remember the old man in the village. The quiet work you're doing right now, the unseen effort that absolutely nobody is applauding, that is exactly what's going to create the shade and the fruit of your tomorrow. Don't be discouraged by the dirt. Keep watering. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you next time.